After months of on and off work, version 8 of my personal website is finally done. Less done and more that I'll stop working on it, but still. Before I start work on FGX, the 10th redesign, I thought I'd summarize some of the features I've added. The most noticeable change in V8 is the theme. I've wanted this design ever since 2017, taking cues from Cal Newport's old website, but I only added it in January of 2019. Honestly, the design is boring. Even after spending hours trying to nail the color scheme for the links, it isn't special. Even worse are all the noticeable usability issues, like the links in the footer being too small and close together. My favorite feature of this redesign is dark mode. Thanks to the growing implementation of the prefers color scheme media query, websites can be coded up with a light and dark theme. While my implementation works, saving eyes and mitigating climate change since displays, well, just OLEDs, use less power, it's a bad implementation. It's ugly and it's poorly coded given the excessive use of important. Worse still, there's no way to disable it. I thought it would be cool to add a search feature. I was planning to use Algolia, but the setup is overly complicated for a static website. I then wondered if there were front-end search libraries, and it turns out they are. I decided to use Luna.js because, honestly, I don't know why I did. Maybe it's because it was the first search result to pop up in Google search? There are other options like Fuse, but I don't know enough about them to make a good recommendation. To use Luna, you need to build an index from the text you want to make searchable. In my case, this meant making a 500 kilobyte JSON object with every post's content, HTML stripped and sanitized, for Luna.js to index. Using that index, it's up to you to add the UI. My UI is basic with a form that dynamically lists the results as the query is entered. It's no Google search, but it's a nice feature. It makes looking up older posts much easier. My search page, however, could be better. For one, I could add more granular search options like date ranges, categories, and tags. It would also be nice to have a better keyword highlighting, the search form appearing in the header or footer outside the search page, and the ability to search by query parameters. The page's accessibility also needs some thought. I planned to add a lot of ARIA, but then I discovered the output tag, which does exactly what I want to do. Still, I need to test things. I could also improve performance by pre-building the index. It was mentioned in Luna's documentation, but I didn't do it because there's a lot of setup needed as I'm using Yugo. Lastly, I'm thinking of adding an option in Java in case JavaScript isn't available. This might be done through server-side or serverless, Luna.js, or Elasticsearch. There has been a revival of RSS, among tech nerds anyway, given how algorithmically driven social media sites are acting like jerks. To hop on this trend, I've decided to implement my own RSS feed in Yugo. I got lazy when it came to organizing content properly, so I made one big RSS feed at /index.xml. It wasn't as simple as using the right template tags. Rather, there were many little quirks that frustrated me. Plain text is boring, so I used HTML. Turns out that HTML conflicts with the XML used in the RSS feed file. Fine, I'll escape it. For some reason, the escaped HTML got escaped again. No worries, I'll escape it using CData. Didn't work. Why? Well, Ghost templating engine is trying to protect me from nasty code injection. Some very cautious escaping later, it worked. The feed looked decent except for all the validation errors. Well, technically they're recommendations now, but there were lots of errors. For one, the dates are in the wrong format. I thought it was right, but it wasn't. Secondly, the images have to be absolute URLs, not relative ones, so RSS readers can resolve them properly. I fixed it, albeit badly. Don't care, still works. As for JSON feed, it wasn't as bad as getting the RSS to work since Yugo escapes the HTML and the JSON. The biggest problem, however, was getting the right ID field since I tried to increment the field. Figured it out eventually. I'm scared of having comments on my blog, so I've decided on adding an email link at the end of every article to get feedback. From this, I learned a lot about building an email link. Did you know that there's more than just mail to email at example.com? You can add CC and BCC fields, as well as the subject and body. This isn't the best UI. a form is better, but I can't afford a proper email relay. To improve my website's performance, I looked into reducing the code size. Minifying was simple since Yugo had a minify option. As for compressing the website, I had to get clever with GitLab CI so that it would only compress the text files. Images don't work well with gzip compression. I also found a service that compresses PNG files that usually come from screenshots, which can reduce image sizes by as much as 90%. Most of that is because screenshots have an alpha channel that's mostly unnecessary, although there are some other compression techniques for PNGs, like indexing colors. It does need some tweaking to make sure the colors don't look terrible, however. One benefit of GitLab over GitHub is that GitLab comes with CI. Using CI, you have much greater control over how to build your website. Instead of having a limited set of plugins you can use, CI lets you build your website however you wish. That's how I compress the output files. Main drawback is that it can get very complicated. Actually, just as I was writing this, I discovered GitHub now has GitHub Actions, their CI/CD platform. Oh well. Now, this isn't really a feature, but since it will be nice to make money and I don't have any visa restrictions at the moment, why not? I've added monetization. I haven't earned a single dollar yet, and I probably won't for many more years, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Speaking of monetization, it's a good point to wrap up. If you can, do sponsor me on Patreon, send a tip through PayPal, buy something with my Amazon affiliate link, or get a domain on Namecheap with my affiliate link. If you want to help without giving me money, do all the YouTubey things like, share, comment, no bigotry please, and subscribe. And if you dislike the video, do it twice so I get the message.